Well, that's a new development. There we go. It moves again, though I'm not sure why it was stuck. It wasn't before. Can you push the brake pedal?
I don't know.
Okay, let's find out.
There you go, I pushed it.
All right, go ahead. All right, I've cracked both the lines coming in. Go ahead and pump a little bit, Celine. Well, I'm not 100%, but I think the front reservoir belongs to the front brakes. Could be wrong. But either way, it ain't doing a dadgum thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the replacement one on, the replacement master cylinder, and we'll go from there. This looks way simpler than most of these modern vehicles. I'll start taking off these bolts, see what happens. Excuse me, nuts. We're going to take off the nuts. There's a little gasket here. Seems to be in pretty fair shape as long as I don't destroy it. The rod's out. Unfortunately, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this problem yet. Probably just ignore it. Put it back on, you know, pretend like nothing ever happened. Now I need to figure out if I can salvage these studs for the new master cylinder. So I'm going to try to knock one of these out and see if I can make them work in that one. One stud is out. I think those might work. I don't know. We'll see. That went in without a fuss. Let me do the rest of them, and then we can install it in the car. Well, the plastic deal on the back of here got shattered, so pretend like it's perfect. Stick it right on in that hole. Line up the studs. Maybe. I'll be back with a hammer. I hammered it in with a mallet. Honestly, with regards to putting in a booster or a master cylinder, this is pretty straightforward. I like it. I like it. I like a few things on these Mopars. You know what I don't like? When they ain't running. Let's make this thing run and drive and stop. Lines are on. Time to put the bolts on the back. The reason that I went and did it that way, I didn't tighten up the master cylinder first. In my experience, if you've got a rigid master cylinder, sometimes it's harder to get that line to thread in. So easier for me. Maybe for everyone. I don't know. Go team. Fully bolted on. Everything's ready to go. Let's give it a couple of pumps and see what it does. All right. Let's go look at that wheel. It doesn't look like it's bleeding out that. Well, that's how this is going now. So trying to take off this hard line coming from the proportioning valve off the hose, and it broke. What are the odds? So I have soaked this thing in PB Blaster for, good Lord, 2 weeks. I figured it'd come off. And then I attempted fire. Fire didn't help. So yeah, I guess I'll have to sort that problem out. This hose, apparently there was some sort of a nipply bit, and that's broke off right in there. Unfortunately, that doesn't match the ones from O'Reilly's. So what I'm going to now have to do is take one of these off, cutting the end of the line, and then cut the line and take this off, and then use all the flaring junk over here to put this fitting on that line. That looks like crap, but maybe it'll work. Look at that curve. That's pretty close. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty close. And it made contact up inside there on the proportioning valve, so, you know, this could only be the start. I'll have to probably do another. There's a drum. That there drum is coming off, and I am replacing it. Vintage Adventure Drives. You'll check him out. I'll introduce you here in my video. He is currently on the way up with disc brakes. I'm upgrading to disc brakes because he would rather have the drum brakes, which apparently weigh 10 pounds less, and, you know, theoretically for drag racing, they might be a little bit better. The wagon's going to be a long-term cruiser, daily driver kind of a thing. I don't think that I'll be putting drums back onto it. Now, I'm not really against drum brakes necessarily. I just like the simplicity and ease of maintaining disc brakes. This wagon is definitely not going to be a race car. And don't quote me in the future if I ever do make it a race car, okay? Thank you. Much obliged. Got it. There's one. There's two. There we have it. So apparently these B bodies, I'm not sure about the rest of the Mopars, have this lower ball joint assembly, which is like, it's got the steering end as well as the ball joint and 2 bolts for that. Not messed with those before, but not too hard to take apart apparently. But this is grody here. This entire boot is gone. And this is also done. I'm gonna find new ball joints and a new steering knuckle. Might even do the tie rod ends. I'm not sure, because those, they look a little rough, and I'll bet you this one's gonna be fun to get off. And the boots are toasted. That looks like rotors. Can we confirm?
I think they are.
Okay.
They stopped my car a few times.
And they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they worked just fine.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
I went out and had a date with a girlfriend just 2 days ago with those rotors right there.
And there's all your goodies that I don't want because apparently they weigh too little for me.
Yeah, I wanted some lighter stuff, you know? And he just has an undying want for drum brakes.
Yeah.
Drum brakes are necessary for his survival. Yeah, you know, you gotta have the 3 M's. Manual drum brakes, manual steering, and manual transmission. I got it all. Got it all.
He's building a race car. That's all he wants is just lightweight stuff. I'm building a family cruiser because I'm that kind of guy, you know?
I don't have a family. The goal is to have a nice driving car. Yeah. Wouldn't we all? Oh, wait, we like the sound of cams. And jump in the clutch.
Introductions.
Oh, well, I'm Tanner from Vintage Adventurer Drives on YouTube. I'm Josh from Oklahoma.
And they brought this beautiful wagon right here.
Yep, belongs to this man right here. He's the proud owner. 5-speed swapped. AX15 out of a Jeep/Dodge Dakota. It's pretty easy if you got a 904 and you need five gears instead of 3.
Mine's longer, as Benjamin said.
Must be better.
Yeah, I think it's better. Stronger, I think, is the other word he used.
He said bigger and stronger.
I guess I'll
just go home out of shame.
Yeah.
In embarrassment. Hey, this one probably gets better mileage. I'll have to put it away.
You think so?
Yeah.
That big block doesn't get better mileage.
318.
No way.
318
No way.
angry cubic inches.
I'll catch up over there. Well, John's going to be off work here shortly, so I have to get these dirty Mopar guys out of here before he gets off because he might get mad.
Yeah, we'll run out of town. Yeah, he doesn't like those Mopars for some reason.
Yeah.
He curses you over it.
I can't be cheating on him with Mopars again.
Yeah, you can't be seen with us.
He's going to come in and see these disc brakes and go, what the hell is that? A slushy.
We'll get you in trouble.
Tally ho, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Oh no, he's here. Go, quick.
Oh no!
No more Mopar guys.
You gotta leave.
Bye, Mopars. Bye. Hurry up, Mopars. Leave, quick. Hey, peel out. Hurry up. He's going to get you. You have to have a special fancy schmancy socket for this because it's kind of a weirdo. It's squared off. That's the socket. I think it's out. That grease is from back when stuff was made in America. Better save all that. There's the replacement ball joint. Okay, installed. Probably not the right answer for installing them, but... Is that good enough? I'm gonna say that's installed. Next part. Yep. That's about exactly what I expected. The lowers are fighting like hell. I already heated this side and hammered on it a bit. And I'm back to the tie rod end. It's still fighting. Ball joint's out. It took a little bit of hammering. And the tie rod end is not coming out. So I just went ahead and ordered them. Ball joints are installed. And like I said, I'm going to have to wait for the tie rod ends. There's the bolts loosely installed. And now I just need to tighten them down just a skosh and put a cotter pin in. That might be right. Perfect. Perhaps I put that in the wrong place. Oh well. Okay, well, we're in-ish. Hey, look, guys. It's another master cylinder. What are the odds? I had to do that again. Another brand new one. This one is aluminum, though, so whatever poundage savings was made by Tanner on his, now I've got them. That's at least 10 pounds lighter than the other one. Have fun with that, Tanner. That there is the passenger side tie rod, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the car. I've already got one installed. You can't see it very good, but there's water. There's a radiator hose. There is a radiator hose. There's a jerry-rigged fuel tank. Now all you got to do is try to fire the thing up again. Let's try it. Fire in the hole. I think that might have contributed. Maybe. Oh, look how good that looks. Oh my goodness. You guys see this grossness over here? Holy moly. I think this was a contributing factor to why this carburetor wasn't doing so good. We were thinking it was all timing. Turns out it probably wasn't. Goodbye, old fuel. Nobody's gonna miss you. Don't worry guys, we came half prepared with a half-used fire extinguisher. Oh, it's all used. Here is just the slightest little bit of tuning. Oh, almost. There she goes. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise, but this has been off for like 5 minutes and it's still doing it. I don't know where it is. I'm not sure what it is. We're just spotlighting everything and I don't see anything that looks like it's melting or burning or should sound weird. I don't know. That's where fuel belongs. That's the fuel. Doing a quick inspection underneath earlier, it actually looks like a pretty good tank. But there's always the chance that this is just going to pour all over the ground. So here goes nothing. I hear it hitting metal. I think we're making progress here. Of course, it smells like varnish. I'm not seeing anything coming into that filter down there, so that's awesome. So the wagon needs to get into the shop just a little bit more, so I can actually get underneath and look at the tank.
You know, you could have used the wrecker and backed it in here.
Come on, push it.
It's moving! Yes, it is. Hey, you put it back. Stop it. It's moving! Yeah, it is. Ooh. It's like
Alright, that's good enough.
He helped.
High fives. Yeah. All right, let's get back to work.
Why is there a fire extinguisher out there?
Because I threw it at the ground.
Why?
Because it was done.
It was empty.
It's been on the back of the wrecker since I put the wrecker out when it caught fire.
I think you're going to make the thing fall sideways.
I'm trying to avoid that.
What? So the wagon's doors were all about to fall off at the same time. I can't do it. Sorry, ma'am. Your cars are broken.
Okie dokie. So that's the sending unit up there. That's the hose, and the hard line goes to the front. And I've rigged in this somewhat longer contraption, and there's a coupling in there. Shouldn't be, but you know, whatever. I'm going to put some fluid down here. Not gear oil. It's actually PB Blaster and maybe a little gear oil. I'm going to put that in there and apply air. And the whole point of that operation is to blow whatever rusty gunk is up in that hard line all the way to the front and out. So maybe I'll blow out a fuel line. We'll find out. I think we're pretty well full. All right. Moment of truth. I can't get anything to go through the fuel lights at all. So we're going to go ahead and just replace them all with a homemade fuel system. Perfect. The stock fuel lines come down to the passenger side on the outside of the rear frame and then come on the inside of the forward frame. The fuel lines all cross over right above the rear end. I need to create some kind of a fancy schmancy fuel system. I'm not even going to try to remove the old stuff. I'm going to do the right thing and put zip ties to hold the entire fuel system to the old fuel system. There's the fuel line. There it is. And there it goes. Goes back over the back and pretty much follows the same path to the tank. There's a little splash. There we go. Yeah, a little bit at a time. I'm still not sure that I'm not going to have to drop the tank. Well, there it is, running. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see what happens. Let's do this. it, so I'll check the transmission fluid. We'll see what happens. But the transmission fluid was a bit low, so let's see what happens if I try to drive it again. There we go. That mirror is atrocious. No power steering, that's fun. Probably ought to remedy that problem. Brakes seem to be functioning properly. The mirror is adjusted. All right. Gotta be careful, this door opens on its own. I zip tied that door so that I didn't have to worry about it flying out because it does the exact same thing. All right. That's it. That's my first drive. Already got the dust and dirt flopping around. Good Lord. The door's wobbling too. I can see that. Might ought to zip tie the door. This thing has brakes. It's a little stiff on the steering. Oh my goodness. I think the exhaust is dragging. I can hear some banging back there. I kind of feel like it's the exhaust. Heck, the speedometer's even moving. That is the first drive. That's awesome. That is awesome. So far, nothing wild's going on. There's a little water down there. Where's that water coming from? It's all over down there. So I gotta figure out where that's coming from. I don't know if it was this, but I'm not seeing any trail on top. So I wonder if it's, oh, there's a drip on that lower hose. Okay. Other than that, I need power steering. Need to shore up all these wires. That's awesome. It drives. It drives. Hell yeah. All right, guys. And I seem to have lost something. And that muffler's living on a prayer. When in doubt, cut it out. So I have this huge disaster of plug wires now that it drives and the exhaust is off. I'm going to go ahead and put together some MSD ones so I can have them at whatever length I prefer going up to the distributor. And I've already got the farthest one back there, number 7. I've got that mounted and I'll go ahead and trim it to length. There we have it. The wires are replaced. It's done a little bit more reasonably. They're not 300 miles long, and I only have one coming around the back of this exhaust manifold. I'll shore that up in the morning and get this thing driving down the road. There's a fuel filter before the pump. There's a fuel filter into the carburetor, which is now not completely garbaged up, and it's time for some coolant. I'm going to show you a quick little hack here that works really well for any of these styles of jugs. Now you turn this thing around and there's this little locking thing on them, right? Doesn't engage with anything on there, but they conveniently have this little locking thing, and this is the trick right here. You just dig it in and voila. You now have an open container. Not the illegal variety of open container, mind you. Just an open container of alcohol, because that's what antifreeze is, it's alcohol. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this thing up, give it another test run, and hopefully have no issues. Can't lose the exhaust this time. All right, that sounds way better. Here we go. It's already got a little more motivation than before. Should probably clean off that windshield. Can't see crap out that thing. Hardly see anything out that mirror. Oh yeah. I didn't feel like it shifted there. Have to check that out. It sounds better without the exhaust dragging. There she is. Alright, shut it off. Still got my squealing because I have the wrong size belt. But you notice the steam on this side? I'm 90% sure that the freeze plug down there just gave up. Hey, if it ain't one thing, it's everything else. I'll have to go get me another freeze plug to fit it. Alright, well, it did drive. It did stop. It did all that. So, a freeze plug and little bit of wiring work and we're golden. Yep, there's a freeze plug missing.
Missing?
Yep, those are kind of important. I think we need those. All right, I just went to O'Reilly's and got some freeze plugs. One of these three is not like the others. Actually, all three are different. This one is what I have in there currently, and I decided to go with some slightly oversized ones. Maybe close, but either way, I'm going to go ahead and try to put one of these in, and hopefully it won't blow out. That's kind of, detrimental to driving your vehicles if your coolant is just all over the place. So yeah, let's put some in there. Put one in there. As you see, there is a new freeze plug in there, and it was a pain in the butt to put in. There's not a lot of room right down here. As you can see, for the 35th time, I'm going to put this thing on the ground. Also, I noticed whilst doing this operation, there's a bolt missing. It's not exactly missing, but it's come out. I forgot to put the nut on it because it's supposed to have a nut that goes onto the back of that. Whoops. Well, last night we were taking a little test drive on this thing, and we were going to, and then it didn't have reverse. Conveniently, it's parked up against this, so can't go forward into the shop. Right there in the middle stall we have John's 57, and right next to that we have the big giant long-tail Ford. It means I have to work on it out here. I didn't hear anything terribly catastrophic, and this is a freshly rebuilt transmission. Although it doesn't look it on the outside, you didn't clean it and paint it or nothing. It was a freshly rebuilt transmission. So I'm going to jack this son of a gun up, get underneath of it, and get a tan on my toes because it is a really nice day out for the first time in a couple weeks. Oh, and I reinstalled the power steering. Got a proper belt for it. I have a sort of proper belt for the alternator. It works and it does charge. So let's go ahead and start dropping off the rest of these pan bolts and hopefully figure this out. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it. I know it's hard to see, but there is some glittery stuff floating around in there, and I'm not sure if that particular spot right there, that piece, I don't know if that's actually a piece of metal or some kind of gasket or seal or something, but it's a lot of material floating around in here. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe try to adjust this band. I don't know. Do you like the sparklies? Maybe. So the pan is now on. Yeah, that adjustment was out by like almost 3/4 of an inch. And I'm not really sure if that's a poor assembly or what. I don't really know. I'm gonna drop it, put some fluid in it, and hopefully I'll have reverse. Okay, we're good there. Now to fire it up. Oh, power steering fluid.
You get any in there?
Some.
Then you get too much in there. You just wanted to make a mess. That's what it was.
I cleaned this really, really well today, so might as well get a little on the outside, get some dirt on it. I haven't started this at all today. Oh, there's a brick back there. We do have reverse. Still kind of feels a little weak. Not really sure. Maybe I need to adjust that kick down cable just a tiny bit. Well, it's nice having power steering on this thing. Seems to be reversing pretty reasonably. But it's getting warm, actually. I wonder why it's doing that. Well, it actually has a really serious problem. It has first gear now. It has really good reverse. Pretty good first. But it doesn't have a single other gear. Paid a lot of money for the rebuild. Should have been the most solid part of the build. And that's a bust right there. Good lord. I might be able to adjust a band. I got some folks that are helping me out with information here. And I'm hoping that they're leading me in the right direction on it. I really want to drive this thing pretty far. If I fix it, you'll get to see where I drive it to. Until such time as it actually has all the gears, I can't take it anywhere. Let's get underneath of it and see what we can figure out. All right, let's see what's inside of this. It's not great looking, but there's definitely some stuff in there. I don't know what that is. Definitely little bits of metal. Of course, there's this, which is part of a seal, maybe? O-ring? I can't tell for sure, but I think that's an O-ring. That doesn't look too bad, though. Honestly, that's really good, considering. I have gone through and tested the band again. I'm pretty sure I might have over-torqued it a little bit, but I'm not 100%. So, I went ahead and re-torqued the rear band, because obviously, I changed the rear band and lost first, and I lost second exactly that, but I did gain reverse. So now potentially maybe I have more than one gear, more than one forward gear at least. So I have got the filter, I've got a replacement filter on. I forgot to film the little bit down there with the band, but anyways, it's a pretty simple adjustment. There are lots of videos on YouTube, so if you guys are curious about that, I'm sure you'll find one. I have now got it kind of sort of back together. There's a solid test drive to pick up the kids from school. And I'm 90% sure that freeze plug down there popped out. I can't see it very well, but from where I'm looking, it looks like it popped out. We're in the wrecker, bouncing around our terrible roads with my terrible suspension. That ain't where it's supposed to be. But alas, here we are, towing it. Well, would you look at that? Another one blown out. Who knew? On another side note that's not related to any of the other problems we've been having, the steering gear leaks like a son of a gun. There's the slightly oversized one installed. All right, freeze plug is in. It's topped off with water. It's running. Yeah, let's see what happens. Temperature gauge looks good over there. I have oil pressure, which did kind of vanish when it got hot, but that's to be expected. Got reverse pretty consistently. It's pretty nice in reverse. There's second. I'm not 100% sure, but I wonder if maybe the temperature jumping had something to do with the transmission. Because surely if it was doing that, the cooler would be warming the oil rather than cooling it. You know, dynamics like that are probably fairly important. There's second. Still hasn't hit third, and it still staying cool. Rolling here about 50. I don't have a clue what the RPMs are, but they're really high. That can't be good for it. It's starting to warm up there. It still hasn't gained the oil pressure back. But the temperature's fine for now. Well, let it sit overnight, and yeah, it's got oil pressure today. Thank goodness. This car's a roller coaster of emotions, I'll tell you that right now. Well, I've dropped the pan again, and this is what we found this final time. Yeah, it's done. It's done. I'm not going any further with this transmission. It's coming out to get rebuilt. We're going to have to get this transmission pulled.
Again.
I really enjoyed putting this thing in.
Me too. It was a blast. This is my happy face.
$1,400 down the drain. Now I got to get it either rebuilt again or worse.
What's your happy face?
Yeah, this is my happy face. But I wouldn't be happy with that situation.
Anyways, we're moving on. I will catch you guys next time on the Empire of Rust and Clutch Material. Trust in the rust, guys.